people want to hear about narcissism, and a lot of times I'll insert it into some of my material, like with astrology or anything, because that is what's like the schism running through everything. It's like, well, why is everything the way it is? Well, because it's a fucking huge school where it's like everybody thinks that they're free, uh, but they're really narcissists, and they don't know what freedom really is. I mean, if it's money that has set them free, then they're not free. It's a vicious game out there because the powers that be that hook money into this human energy, which is off in left field, spinning like a top, eating popcorn, and trying to figure out what's next, in their subconscious slap around. Really, I'm beginning to understand more and more what the Barbie movie was all about. Because I'm honestly, I know that these uh, Warner Brother movies that hit all around. There's movies. People are big about going to the movies still and getting the Netflix. Eventually, it's going to be Netflix. People are going to get this dose of an experience of something which is pegging the subconscious programming of a certain faction of human, you can bet, that was completely manufactured by what? Well, there is social engineering. There is right. There's psyops and engineering with that. There's you can if you, what's the agent? Well, let's look at religion over there, and then let's look at, of course, the education system, and then what is money up to? All of it, really. Yeah. And so it's just auspicious when that movie was was released um, during the Venus retrograde. Um, now I'm picking up on what that was just like a bomb for a certain, like I said, certain programming that the narcissist, that they live with this programming, and in their heads they have it just arranged in a certain way. And see, they're really big on the news, their education, right? Really what it is this feed that gives them their, and of course just play the money game with it. Hard to explain, but there it is right there in a handbag. Put it together. It's hard to make a lot of money without being a narcissist, which is just the same as saying, because what are we saying, babes? When you say a narcissist, what is that? Does anybody have any list of definition of words at the bottom? If you're interested in it at all? Getting back to just the world that seems to be just chugging away by that human energy that is driven by what? It's not complicating. It's a toddler that's like this. Am I doing it? Am I getting an A? Um, anyway, not saying to let yourself go like I do. No, I'm just kidding. Well, you've got to be careful now, people. Whatever it is that is out there standing as that wants your money, that says that they're gonna help you. It's not happening, babe. It is if you have, really, if you find the right thing, you gotta watch out, right? You really do. You better be paying really well for that person's knowledge, know-how, work, whatever it is. Man, you gotta live the world as far as the money scene. You better live the way you want it to be. You don't follow and let somebody tell you how much you're gonna get it paid an hour to get up and be there and show up with your love and your energy. No, see, I stopped that a long time ago, man. Up just where in my community where I live, that's just the way it happened for me. And it's like, come to find out, it's like, well, no, and it's like, I'm 15 years ahead on that. I was making $15 an hour a long time ago, and now I just raised it up to 25, and I realize that's fucking a spit in the bucket. It's more like 35. More like 75 to just get out of the house and show up, and then whatever it is, if I'm even holding a broom, $25 an hour, please. This is human energy, and if you can't do it yourself, get the hell out of here. And good for you if you can pay somebody to do it. I'm here to do it, and I'm not going to do it like a fucking idiot. There are some people that just can't do it, and there is where you have this system that says work your way to the top, especially even if it's just holding a broom. Start at 5, blah blah blah, or whatever was minimum wage when I first started working when I was 16. Was minimum wage was 5.45, and then work your way up, which means at least you showed up as you kept showing up, and then hey, but no, if you started doing really good work, which some people do, some people don't. I mean, then you can get a better position, right? You get a raise and all that stuff goes on. But who didn't experience that? Big deal. Uh, you you know, right now, boy, making $7 an hour. You know, your gallon of gas and your gallon of milk, and yeah, right. No, I don't know if anybody knows right now, man. I'm sorry to say this, but if there can't become a tribal Earth who is sticking up for simplicity of just basically generally being simple, um, uh, reducing things down to simple pleasures, you know, taking their time. I don't know how to say it. A lot of people are into eating and what to eat, and it's like, well, how about not eating? How about making very little that you get more and more pure, and the way that you do it is you come out of starvation somehow. People, man, I'm sorry to say, but that kind of stress needs to happen to some people, and if you're not doing it as some kind of, this is what discipline might be about. Discipline, not just a slap on the hand and say don't do something. Yeah, of course, it's do the opposite of the compulsory suggestion. And what is it? A lot of times it's to gorge out and stay so busy with what money is up to, and you know what I see, you guys, it keeps coming more and more, and I'm going to learn this, babes. I think it's just right on time. Yeah, I'm not going to share much with anybody, but I'm looking at, like, okay, so what is the best way for an organism to behave if they have resources? People, come on, think with me. Resources that they don't create money. They don't make money. There is something else. There's a machine. I don't know if you've noticed, but when you give, I like to face the $100 bill towards the people and make sure they try and look at the face, because mind you, I just made that face, which is like, it's this face. Just look at Benjamin Franklin's face. If you ever get a chance on the $100 bill, look at that face. If you're a human being, that emotion is going to strike you. You're read it into it more. Look at it. What is that fucking expression saying? Anyway, I'm all serious because I have got the Jupiter squaring my moon in Aquarius, and how does Jupiter even make a bad aspect? But it's in Taurus, and it's for a lot of people that overindulgence. It could show up, especially with the Venus square. We're going to experience more of the Venus square um, in Leo, and it squares Jupiter and then Uranus again. This is like another round that we're all preparing for when Venus moves forward away from. Well, what is the degree now? I guess I can look at it really quick while I'm talking, but it's bringing on the. See, Venus and Leo is kind of showy. It's very showy, comes to mind. The glitter and the glamour of whatever it takes to put on Hollywood, babes, and it's a little bit. It's like we've got to put the brakes on when it comes to that frivolous uh, spending on precisely the stuff. You know, I see it everywhere, and I can see, for some reason it fucking bugs me, and I'm the Aquarius moon. Uh, it opposes Venus. The Venus opposes my moon, and then the Jupiter squares it so that it's a T-squared, and I'm the Aquarius vibration. Um, Actually thinking of that factor of well, there's two ways to go. You can be an idiot and fall for the flea market and be all. See, I don't know, babes. Fine, I'm also materialistic too. If you really look at it, I mean, it's like I have it all. But I'm the first one to just try and simplify. Whatever I'm doing is like the very minimum, and it's like am I going to choose not to do? Well, see, this I hate this conversation, by the way. Let me get back to, so what am I looking at? I was trying to look at what degree Venus is when it turns retrograde on tomorrow or today, actually. Here we are, Venus 12. See, and that's going to go back and hit my moon, and I'm thinking about putting together this really raw, just I'm playing it first in my head. I have a bunch of songs, but my latest take of it, I'll have to get on, just play the drums and then play with that, record that, and then play with it again. I'm going to see how many times I can ping pong with the technology I have now, which is going to be, I bet you anything, it's going to be really bitchin'. I'm supposed to, because Venus conjuncts my part of fortune in Leo, and I have a trine with Neptune and my ascendant. And the truth is, if we didn't live in such the narcissistic paradigm where um, the living dead has taken over the scene, and you just have to sit through all of the amazing illness taking center stage. Sorry. Nah, I don't claim to be the best in the world. I can claim that medicine is a medicine. Music is a medicine. It's a tool that is highly medicinal, and everybody needed to learn it. They should learn it. That's one of the higher learning tools that is being hidden from humanity that would help people out of hell. But it's just taken away and centralized, right? And then you got a singer up there shaking their ass, and it's like, oh my God, because what I know about it, what I've experienced it as a musician, playing freehand on my own and saying, well, I guess I can record some things, but I have a bunch of stuff on reel that is like disintegrating. It's like, well, Shauna, you're just gonna have to do it again, really? It's already done. I did a lot, I've redone songs. There's a lot of ideas that I would redo some songs anyway. The heartache is that I don't have anybody to play with. To me, that's what you do, is you play live. That's the only way to play music. Okay, I'm on the music fucking thing. We have Mars right on my sun. I'm probably just a target right now for agitation, and it's like, come on, I have enough agitation. I was born with a Mars conjunct Sun conjunct Pluto. So with Mars and Libra, a lot of people are probably going to be kind of confrontational, but at the same time, they're going to say, well, let's work it out. Let's really weigh it out. If not that, the way that the vibration of Libra and the air and Mars is, it's it's very diplomatic. It's going to be able to weigh things out in a more a way of looking at both sides more than, say, that Mars and Aries. Even though the Mars and Aries, it's a better placement, but just it's a little kind of secret about Mars and Libra. Even though it's detriment, it's good to calm Mars down, and you don't want to let your guard down too much. That's my story about. If you heard my story about in the parking lot there, being a lazy ass, leaning my door on the woman's car, and it's like, okay, I realized that, I was like, and then the cart double timing it. I was not in the mood, and all it did was maybe see. This may happen with you with the Mars in Libra, is that you can see both sides. So you see your side and their side, and if you're not used to that, it's probably going to be a time of just, maybe you'll go alcoholic. Let's see, where's Saturn and Pisces? Everybody has that flashing in front of their eyes, and let's look at how many planets are retrograde right now. There's so many. Can I even tell us without? This thing doesn't read very well, but sorry. Yeah, there it is. Sorry, it's not actually. Anyway, thanks for sitting through this. I was actually looking, yeah, so anyway, Venus is going to activate the kids. You'll hear them more like playing and screaming. They'll be accented more. You'll find like today, um, well, it happens ever since we've had Venus and Leo, and it's just in my fifth house conjunct uh, my part of fortune, and I would be highly influential on kids, and I have been. I mean, I am when they're there and we're there. So I was shopping today, and especially if they have the fucking Barbie movie coming out, and the Barbie movie, I just can't wait, to see what the kids see, or anybody, really, right? The implant, I'm getting a lot of weird shit from people right now. Is it because of the Barbie movie? So this little girl, um, I just freed myself up from a situation being tugged down by this person who about the car incident. I was like, I was really feeling bad about it. I was like, there's got to be some way that I got to free myself up from. First of all, feeling bad for laying in on her, and feeling bad for actually being in the wrong about it. So, but the whole thing, I felt so helpless, and I just had to stand there and go, "Are you kidding me?" I wasn't. It wasn't like that. I mean, um, fine, I just need to get done what I need to get done anyway. I freed myself up. I figured I by the shoulder analogy. It's like, wait a minute, what if that was my shoulder? And I was like, ugh. See, that's happened to me before. People have just tried to lean on my shit, and they just fucking trample all over my shit, and they dent my shit, and I hardly say anything. I just say, nah, the human interaction is better. I'm have a nice day. But then now it comes my turn to get a little leeway, and I don't know. I just had to give her a little fucking speech, I guess, and then yeah, it was so awkward and weird. But I just had released it all. I go to my next place that I need to shop and get this shit done. My once a month fucking trip. I stock on things, and there was a little girl, it was a black family, and I had just released myself from all of this weight about that. I just said, you know what? No, really, no, Shauna, she could have behaved differently. Um, uh, the roles could reverse, and that's one of the things I tried to tell her. Like, what if you actually approach 17 minutes of this 18 minutes? Oh my God. What if I told her, I said, you better be careful approaching somebody else less nice than me about a pathetic fucking thing like that. Could you help out and be a buffer against what's happening there? There's just a downhill fucking thing. Could you have been there and caught the cart? No. You're there for what? To protect. I felt like it was this person who was being really protective of their friend's car. Even though it was just, the car is not any nicer than mine. Not really, no. If it was, I would have noticed. And everybody's passing judgment there, and I'm saying everybody's wrong and everybody's an idiot, and that's what I'm saying. Close the book on there. Now, what's the new book called? Jesus, forgive us because we just blink. I agree. Does that include me? I hope so, because boy, I don't have any fucking breathing room at all, do I? Not since Barbie. That's what I'm kind of saying, and then so this little kid, maybe she got some other kind of message from the Barbie movie. Everybody will, according to the subconscious programming is going. And it was just after I had released myself, I was like, you know what? It's true. We're both wrong. No, what it was is I heard this song. It was the first song that I heard when I walked into the store, and of course, a Pisces, and I'm thinking these songs are speaking to me on a higher spiritual level, and they are. Everybody knows that. So the first song you hear in a market is talking to you, baby. And so this song was by Kenny Loggins. It says, this is the thing I told this woman, I said, I'm all right. How are you? Um, the song that says, I'm alright, don't you gotta worry about me. Don't you gotta give me a fight? It kept saying this, aren't you gonna set us free? Just listen to that song. I love that song. But when it just started drilling into me, and I was like, yeah, no, that's it. No, that's really it. Be lighter than that. And make a better situation than this. Because, babe, it could have been somebody else, like my uncle, who would say, who the fuck are you? Boom! Now, are you hurting a little bit there? What is it? Your car? Is it your face now? Bye. I'm sorry. All right, watch out. You know, people. I'm sorry. That's terrible. Where's that coming from? Let me look on the ephemeris. Well, I'm having Pluto. It's appearing that it's still squaring my Mercury. Don't even tell the narcissist that, oh, I'm not looking good. I'm not feeling good today. Boy, I made a mistake there, and I feel like crap for doing that, because they will not let you live that up. They have a malfunctioning mind, which just you could be. I mean, an analogy would be just like you're making baskets, swishes for like 26 times, and now 3 times in a row you miss, and they're like, ah, miss, fucking loser, man. I'm out of here. And that's the way their mind is. And then, you call them up and say, hey, I'm going to go play some basketball. You want to come? And say, to watch you fucking miss the whole time? I mean, they don't let up on that. They don't let up. They will not let up. That's what I mean energetically. It's like, fucking at all costs, you just do not. Even though if you're an astrologer and you say, you know what, this is going to pass all of this awkward, even the way that I look like I'm crinkling up, like, it's because, well, I can say because, babe, for everybody. See, I'm looking at Pluto in Capricorn. It's at 27 degrees by October, and it's not letting up. Oh, there it goes. It's going direct again by October, and now see what happens is by December, huns. Okay, I'm not in, okay, in December, it's at 29 degrees. And I think in the I just hail fucking Capricorn going into Aquarius, because I'm gonna be able to make some use of myself, my very energy that I am, the Mars Pluto Sun radiation. I'm looking forward to getting a really unusual job. Somebody, God, did I talk about money yet, babes? Money isn't any of your business unless you have a machine. Otherwise, forget it. Forget it right now. Forget it. See what we're supposed to be doing. Did I talk about it? So we're supposed to be masterminding a way to escape that clampdown that's happening with money. Money, it's like you can go one way or the other, depending on how we let go of the old life. Like, say, for instance, me, who the old life that I'm holding on to is literally is my grandma's um, generational wealth, is her parents' generational wealth, who it's just been staggered out now. I mean, they sold out, and the reason why we can trace back why I don't have 2 acres here instead of one is because in the 70s, I mean, it's because of religious values that my grandmother's mom had, that she just didn't agree of something that about my grandma or something, and it was just a big misunderstanding really later, that what I would hear about my grandma. And anyway, boy, talk about activating psychosomatic um, symptoms, is from hanging on to negative stuff from the past, and especially narcissistic things. So just trying to talk about, like, for everybody, it's coming up, like, how do we do this? Well, I'm going to be doing some deep breathing and meditation enough, and I think I have done enough, and I'm heading that way towards it enough that it's going to click in, that I'm going to find a solution not just for me, but for all of humanity. and it's not going to be an isolated incident. This thing that's not a, it's not a download, but it's like a eureka of, oh, it's been building for like you can say the last 3 years, 4 now, or we're going on that now. Um, where some people, especially now you can call it the chosen ones, are going to be activating, and they have the answer. They have the stance that is needed because of, well, you can say Antichrist sweeping across the globe, which is none other than what it's going to look like. It's looking like Disneyland, like, the marshmallow guy. No, I'm fine. Fucking shredding everybody. Watch me. Meanwhile, it's doing something over here, right? And none of that anymore. Stop. Will you stop? And because of having found the one and only passage, and that is also going through money and doing like a sacrifice, and it has everything to do. Okay, look at what it says on money. One of the things, the way we play the game, in God we trust. I am dead serious about that, and I don't think that anybody knows who decides to put that on the money that we're having to use, that I use anyway. In God we trust. What does that mean? Well, yeah. Who's God? What? What's that? Needs to be changed. Why? Well, because we don't know what God is. So what is it though? Can we revamp that? Of course we can. Is that being hijacked and rode upon? Is it being like just coated in heavy metal? Yes. That's a whole other video talking about how there's a war on. Now I call it the Virgin, but what do you mean? Well, no. Let's just to wrap this up. We have water that would clean itself, and if you protect some of these areas, and you can just see that it's giving out fresh water, and the way that it works, it's always refreshing, and there's a way to bring it back to that fresh too. If you start practicing certain ways of harmonizing with the ionosphere in such a way, it's like it's the original buzz or vibrational frequency or whatever you want to call it. What's here and what works, like the truth, and I'm calling it's virgin. It's virgin. It's important to uh, protect virgin territory, and that is of many different information fields, which is just meaning it's like this is the truth. This is when you take the elevator all the way to the top, and this is it. Why are we getting sick? It's because it's man-made. It's a big business. Same thing with your pets. Unfortunately, watch out, you fucking dog owners, that it's just like the big thing that get dogs. And I'm going to close this up right now with the reason why narcissists do things and have and are doing things is a completely different reason than what other people are doing with those things. They are actually having those things, and now that's hard to look at because you get 80% are saying, "Well, what's going on, Shauna? You don't want to take them to get vaccines and take care of the dog and take them to the vet all the time." And it's like, I didn't say that, but have you noticed vets have changed? I've been here for over nearly 50 years. Doesn't matter if you say that. I've been awake for that long. I'm looking at the intentions of these people, and now you could have trusted vets. When I was a kid, of course, they're simple. They're simple. They're just making a lot of money on something that you don't know how to do, which is to put a suture in or something like that. There's not really anything that complicating to do there. But now, why has it become so complicating, babes? When I was a kid, please comment section down below if you know what I'm saying. There wasn't any fucking obesity in dogs and how they're looking at it nowadays is just so weird. But let's talk about the epilepsy and all these different problems, diabetes and all these different things coming along. It's like, where's that coming from? You giving them vaccines? Bingo. Now let's look at your food. Did you know that shit is just fucking packed with shit? Especially if you're just feeding them anything, right? Of course, you have to have money to fend for yourself in this war. Why? That's just the way it is. Who cares? And when you look at money, how that none of it belongs to anybody but this fucking institutional that is running all of the wars. How about that? Anybody understand that? Comment section down below.